Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Movies with Matt. I'm your host, Matt Girello, and this is a show where we talk about movies and, just movies. What'd you think this was, a music show? I don't know any music. We're heading to New York. We're right at Town Hall, right by Times Square. We're going to see Quentin Tarantino in the last stop of his book tour for his new book, Cinema Speculation. I'm so excited! Am I right, guys? Aren't you guys excited? Look at them. They're very excited. Quentin Tarantino, a filmmaker that probably needs no introduction, but, you know, he likes feet. So who is Quentin Tarantino? Well, I'm glad you asked. He's an acclaimed writer and filmmaker who started his career at working at a video store, and he would just polish his scripts together until in 1992 he broke out with his film Reservoir Dogs. And since then, he's made a lot of very iconic movies in the past few years. Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Django Unchained, and Glorious Bastards, Hateful Eight, and even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know these guys like Quentin Tarantino. What do you guys think is his best movie? See, they're excited.
So Matt.
Yeah?
So Matt.
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite Tarantino movie?
That's a good question. I think there's a lot of great movies he's done, and I know not everyone has the same. To me, it always goes back and forth between two movies, Pulp Fiction and Django Unchained. There's sometimes where I think Pulp is the better movie. Some days I think Django is the better movie, but they're both going for different things. Well, we just came out of the Tarantino event. What did you guys think? Well, see, they're too excited to not discuss their thoughts. But for me, I thought it was not what I expected. To be honest with you, I expected a little more. There were some great moments, don't get me wrong. There's some amazing moments. Some that we'll talk about once we get back to the studio or whatever. I guess from what I thought I was going to get, I was kind of disappointed. I know that's not the answer you're probably expecting on the show, but sometimes, folks, you just gotta be honest with yourself, and if you're not honest with yourself, then there's no point. And now back to the studio. So, what'd you guys, after a few weeks, what'd you guys think overall?
That was so bad. That was such an enormous waste of time.
Yeah, it was kind of well, I'm not gonna say it was bad, but
What's your take?
He's literally giving it right now.
Not exactly. I wanted to keep going.
Well, you interrupted him, so how can he keep going if you interrupted him?
You keep interrupting him. Let him keep going.
You're the one who interrupted him. I'm interrupting you.
Jesus Christ, keep...
I will agree that I think, considering how much I was anticipating for this thing, and how much, I hyped it up in my head, to see what ended up.
What did you think it was going to be?
a little grander, I guess. But then I remembered, oh wait, this is a book tour. It's not gonna be like this.
Well, when you said it was a book tour, I thought we were gonna like line up, meet him, get his autograph, and like my whole hope was like I had a big question I want to ask Tarantino. Why do you like feet so much?
Hello, darling.
Do you mind sunning my foot, actually?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
It was kind of impersonal, which was annoying. Like I've been to spoken word shows. Do you know the band Black Flag?
I've never heard of them.
Well, the vocalist Henry Rollins, he'll just go up and just talk for 5 hours about like travels, and it's really rewarding. It's never more than like $35 or some but this was like 70, and when I go see Henry Rollins speak, I feel like I came away with like a monolith of education, right? Like I learned something. This was just Tarantino talking to a friend of his, geeking out about things that they like that the audience most likely knows nothing about.
Yeah, it did feel just like an interview that we just all ended up stumbling upon. Yeah. So Tarantino was interviewed by a fellow film critic, Elvis Mitchell, who, from what I hear, has a movie on Netflix. It's like a documentary about, I forgot what it's about specifically, but I think it's like black film, like black people in films in the 70s.
Yeah. But we had a really good time beforehand.
Oh yeah.
We went out to eat. The restaurant we all went to thought we were children.
Yeah, they were just like, oh Kirk, you have to be this tall to ride the ride.
Damn.
You know, 6,000 languages in this world, and you had to talk.
Well, yeah.
Norman was there physically. Norm, you're over there. Do you want to come on camera for a second? Aki, tell us a little bit of your time watching Tarantino. Just come on.
Come on. Yeah.
There we
Tell
go.
us, Norm, what'd you think?
What camera am I looking at?
Your choice.
Yeah, it was a good time with the boys. I'm not a Tarantino fanatic, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
What do you remember most?
Tarantino said he would direct the Luke Cage movie.
He said he would not do it now because Marvel
He would
movies
rather
suck.
Yeah.
Thank you, Norm.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Do a backflip on your way out.
People always like, oh, what does a filmmaker think of Marvel? I'm always like, guys, stop asking them. Like, you're just gonna get the same answer, and then social media's just gonna get angry all the time, and
That probably says something if like a bunch of supposedly great, well-renowned, influential filmmakers are saying that Marvel movies aren't really movies.
well, it's fine. They've had like decades of experience. Who am I to say that they're wrong?
I feel like Tarantino doesn't want to do it because of what it's become.
Oh yeah.
But like, cause of what you said, like he's like back in the '90s when like it was like Blade and stuff like those type of movies. It was very like, very like, I don't want to say independent because there was obviously like a studio behind it, but it was like more.
They weren't as like in control.
Yeah, so like, but like now it's like a studio thing. It's like I feel like it correlates back into like. This is gonna be crazy, but like the old Hollywood when like the studio control like the directors and stuff, and then like the directors like Scorsese try to branch away.
Even then it's different because in old Hollywood there's like a bunch of movie studios, and now today like they're all been eaten up by each other. Like,
Yeah, but I feel like but within those you still got like Disney, but like within Disney there's like different Pirates of the Caribbean, for example, or like other big outside of Disney like Harry Potter. So I feel like there's
Those are
too much.
properties, not studios.
No, but like I feel like the studios are behind those like to put like their minds into it more than the directors. You get what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's more of the money
they're more
grabber
interested
than
in the
Yeah,
IPs
exactly.
for profit than actual.
like exactly that's what I'm saying. Like you will never see a Tarantino go like do a Pirates of the Caribbean or like or like a Harry Potter because I feel like the studio is gonna like intervene way too much. He's
Yeah.
not that type of person.
And Tarantino likes when he's in control of his project.
Those movies are really straightforward and designed to kind of like please everybody and like not really have like a distinct personality. They kind of just want to like meet this common ground. So I don't think a Tarantino would even make. I don't think a studio would ever ask Tarantino.
One time Tarantino stated he might have wanted to do a Star Trek movie.
He talks a lot of crap.
But that would have been it because he called it would be Pulp Fiction in space. I'm like, that would be interesting.
Well, all of his movies are Pulp Fiction in a different location.
One conversation that Tarantino and Elvis Mitchell were talking about, which I found really interesting, was when they were talking about this film critic called Pauline Kael. Because Tarantino, I think, brought up a good point where it's like, film critics, like, you want to hear what you want to hear. Like, if you loved a movie, you want to see a critic say, "Oh, I love this movie." But Pauline would always like say like differently. Like, if Tarantino liked a movie, she wouldn't like it,
Yeah.
with the exception of Carrie, and that's what he brought up in his thing. I thought that was really interesting. I want to know what you guys' thoughts were.
Well, I completely agree with that. I've never read a review thinking, oh, they're gonna love the movie I love or an album or something. And when Tarantino was talking about how like the way Pauline Kael would write was like such a riot, such a laugh. Like she completely like be relentlessly unfiltered in how she would attack these movies, and that's what I like to read. Like blunt honesty. I love David Lynch, huge David Lynch fan. Roger Ebert has took a crap on like 75% of Lynch's films, and those are some of my favorite Ebert reviews. Even if like I don't think he's really being that coherent or making sense, it's just funny to see how off my consensus he is. How different people could view like one work of art.
Yeah. What do you think, Kirk?
Honestly, I just like listening to Tarantino talk about his passion.
Actually, there was another. The funniest part of the whole thing was like, he was talking about how like Jackie Brown, Robert Forster's character, was pretty much this character from this 1980 movie called Alligator. He's like you're the, and he was telling Robert Forster, you're the same guy that years ago attacked an alligator. That was funny. That was really funny.
Was it funny because you got the reference, or funny because it was a movie called Alligator?
Because like it's such a 180. It's like a movie about an alligator.
What about Tarantino excites you, Matt? What do you like about him?
I like how his films are 100% him. It doesn't matter what other people have to say. What matters is what you think. And I think Tarantino has like a good amount of passion in himself and confidence that he's able to feel good about all the products he's done. I think he said he was a little disappointed with how Death Proof turned out. But I think that's about it.
Isn't that your favorite?
No, but I enjoy it. See, the thing I like about Tarantino's movies is that they're not, to me, 100% himself. Because so much of it is he's like the ultimate filmmaking sampler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he just steals from these exploitation B movies that I find a lot of fun. We have Lucio Fulci's Zombie. These are movies that I'm pretty sure Tarantino likes. Lucio Fulci's Zombie, and then we got I don't remember who directed this, but Thriller: A Cruel Picture, which is essentially what Kill Bill's whole plot is kind of based off of. I kind of like how he is really stylized, but takes from these kind of like less appreciated corners of cinema and makes that really accessible, really poppy, to the point where like my mom likes Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
She gets the references.
No,
Oh.
no, but she doesn't know where they come from. So to her, it's like this really unique vision, right? It's like really different, really quirky, whatever. I actually remember the first time I saw Pulp Fiction, my mom brought it home, because she knew I liked Reservoir Dogs when I was 12, 13, and we all sat down as a family to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was that scene where he says, "Bring out the gimp."
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie of all time?
Of Tarantino.
Oh, Tarantino.
This guy.
That's
Your favorite movie
Tarantino
is
episode,
Toy
hello.
Story 4, right?
there's a little bit.
Toy Story 3?
Tarantino did not direct Toy Story 3.
No, that's your favorite movie, right?
Of all time.
That's Toy Story 2.
They're all the same.
I'm gonna ignore it. But my favorite Tarantino movie, I always go back and forth between, because I think he's made like 4 perfect.
Perfect. Oh
Not
my
perfect.
God.
Not perfect. Because film's subjective. But like 4 of my favorites are Django, Pulp Fiction, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Glorious Bastards. Like I think they're all.
Is that the order?
No, if we're going in order, it's Pulp, Django, Glorious Bastards, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I have to rewatch them to like see if anything like changes. But for now, that's my ranking.
But you didn't name every movie. You named like 5 movies.
And then after that, we go to like Hateful Eight, Jackie Brown, and then Kill Bill. I think Volume 2 is a little better than Volume 1, but that's just my opinion. Reservoir, and then Death Proof. But none of the movies are bad. None of the movies are bad.
All right. I don't really like movies, so You know, but I do have a list.
What's your list? I want to hear it.
Number 10 is Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
I find it really obnoxious,
Crazy.
honestly. It's pretty. The soundtrack sucks too. Jackie Brown's number 9. I like the sex scene with Bridget Fonda, Danny Elfman's wife, if nobody knows that, and Robert De Niro. That is one of the most awkward but funny sex scenes in movies. Pulp Fiction, number 8. I find the characters are kind of obnoxious. I want them all to die. Death Proof, number 7, for the lap dance scene, because that's just. Well, I like. Django Unchained. It's got a good soundtrack. Hateful Eight, number 5, for the moment. That's a spoiler, but I don't really care. Where, you know, kaboom. That's funny. Then the Kill Bills. Then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I like a lot of the head gore in Tarantino movies.
You think that God came down from heaven and stopped?
How you like that? You bushwhacker castrate.
They're always so, like,
Yeah.
shocking, and they come out of nowhere. And the number 1's Inglourious Bastards, because you get head gore, which I find really funny.
And your favorite?
I want to say Jackie Brown. Just because of my favorite actor, Robert De Niro. It's very upsetting that he didn't work with Tarantino again, but they had like a little beef during that shooting, so.
De Niro's had beef with everybody, though.
Yeah, he's a little
Like
diva,
it-
but I love him.
Yeah, there's a lot of like you just look at like what happened with Una Thurman on Kill Bill.
Una Thurman.
Una Thurman.
Uno Thurman.
Uno.
Because there's only one Uma Thurman.
Her
daughter's really pretty.
I like my outfit. I haven't thrown up yet.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When are we going to talk about Sex and the City too?
We'll talk about season 54. I don't know.
I mean the movie Sex and the City too. When are we going to talk about it?
We'll talk about it in a later episode.
Okay.
I'll let you know. Okay. And speaking of the next episode, tune in next.
Keep going.
Um,
Just for dramatic. Keep going.
Right. Join us next time for our season finale when I bring Taha and Jaden here to talk about a big Hollywood franchise that's not Marvel. We're talking about Fast and Furious. So until next time, I've been Matt, and always watch more movies, please, because if you don't, I will find out. Hey!
When you walked out, you were just. Is this still recording? I just wanted because I thought it was still recording. That would have been funny.
Oh, I wasn't recording that? Oh, nice. Bro, it was so funny. It was so funny. You walked out, you were just like, that was, well, at least I kept good eye contact.